Hello anybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Pikmin. I'm Mr. Devious, or just Deeb, and in the previous episode we got 3 parts out of the Distant Spring, and in today's episode we're gonna head right back on in there for day 9. We've been in the Distant Spring for, this'll be the 3rd day we've been here now. We spent 3 days in the Forest Navel before leaving, and I think we're gonna spend 3 days here before leaving here, but I'm still debating it because I don't want monsters to respawn when I took so much time to clear them out, and even this is one of the better aged aspects of the game. Look at that pretty water. Except we don't have time to actually look at that water because Pikmin is all about rushing, as we know. It's all about panic all the time. So yeah, now that we've taken care of a good deal of things, I'm going to get a fairly balanced team. So that'll give us about, I don't know, we still want predominantly blues because even though we've finished mostly the big water areas, we still want, there's still going to be water in our way. There's going to be enough water to challenge us. 20 yellows just as insurance, because it's always good to have insurance. Like, even if you only need a certain amount of Pikmin, take into account the fact that they're probably going to lose a couple, maybe, along the way. So, yeah. And again, there's that giant Beetle up there, which we're just not going to worry about right now. Gonna see if I can't flower some Pikmin before we get on with our day, and just going to pluck some grass. So, yeah, get excited about that. And I think this makes our entire squad... Hey, no slacking off. I think that makes our entire squad flowers now. Again, be careful though, because there are rocks, and the Pikmin are kind of dumb. Now I'm going to try and be a little bit chancy here and kind of get some bomb rocks for the yellow Pikmin to use in combat. Now I normally don't do this because I don't trust yellow Pikmin with bomb rocks in combat, because it's very chancy, because the Pikmin have to take a second to kind of line up their shot before they try anything else. So yeah, we have 3 bomb rocks. I'm just gonna get rid of them on this Wollywog over here. You will be the victim of the day, Wollywog. And they missed. That's kind of the problem with it, isn't it? Well, that's one explosion. Actually, that's a fair amount of damage considering. Yeah, actually, kudos. That's a pretty safe way to deal with the Wollywogs. Oh god, my audio was peaking there for a moment. Sorry about that. That's gonna not be very pretty on the mic. So yeah, if you want a reliable way, if somewhat time-consuming, to kill Wollywogs, bomb rocks are pretty effective. Only 2 per kill, and you get a good amount on the day in which to kill them. And I think there's gonna be some sheer grubs here in a moment if we're not careful. But let's take care of this Wollywog first. First things first, you want to lure it out further onto the land than it is. Otherwise, it might shake your Pikmin off and dump them in the water. That's bad. Damn it! 26 Pikmin. That is awful. God, I hate Wollywogs. Like, what can you do about that? Because sometimes they just die immediately, and other times they take out, like, a quarter of your squadron, and there's nothing you can do about that, because even if you call your Pikmin, there's nothing you can, well, do. It sucks, man. It sucks. Well, while those Pikmin work on those walls, I'm gonna go and pick up some reinforcements for the day. How many Pikmin did we have there? Like 15 yellows, a few, maybe get mostly more blues. I think the onions are gonna tell us how many are out in the field at least, so let's see here. Nope. Well, first things first, let's just kind of diversify this up. We'll take 5 yellows and 10 blues and 11 reds. I think that's a fair diversification of our numbers. I think reds were the heaviest losses there. So yeah, these guys are, some of them are greenhorns because they got leaves on their heads, and they're bashing their heads on rocks again. I don't know what inclines them to. Maybe it's because they can sense the nectar in the rocks. How do you even get nectar in rocks? This is a dumb train of thought. I don't like it. So as you can see, the black walls are a lot harder to take down than the white walls, of course. You already knew this if you were watching the game. But we have gotten that down one layer. One method you can do, again, is to take it down with the bomb rocks, but I'm not gonna do that because I am stubborn. So yeah.
It's my zirconium rotor. This is made from rust-proof zirconium, which is particularly suited to making spaceship parts. I had to pay a lot extra to get this installed, and I suspect the mechanic overcharged me.
This happens with like all your parts, Olimar. You are such a hapless person who buys things, a hapless customer, I guess. But you know what they say about buyer beware, and you did not beware, so that's your fault, not mine. Why am I criticizing the choices of a small spaceman on buying things? I guess that's kind of proof that I've really run out of things to say in this Let's Play. Now here you're kind of getting a head-on demonstration of why Olimar can't kill sheer grubs on his own very well. It's because they will fly up in the air like little cowards when they go over half their health down and recover somehow. It's some kind of voodoo bug magic, and I hate them. I hate them so much, because a lot of enemies in the game, you can kill them with Olimar. It's not effective, but it's a means of fighting, and I'm just kind of wasting time over here. But the reason I spent time over here is because I didn't want the Pikmin to break down the wall, and then they would have these buggers to fight. And of course, they caught a Pikmin and they killed it. I didn't use my tried and true method of just throwing Pikmin at it. And another part goes into our ship. I'm hoping to get 3 by the end of the day, and that's 1, and we should be able to get a couple more at least.
Made of rust-proof zirconium and as shiny as new, despite being left out in this planet's harsh elements. I've now recovered 17 of 30 parts.
17 of 30 parts. We're doing great. And 12 more. Reminder, you need to get 29 parts before you can go after the last part. And that part is special, and we're going to see why later. I think the red Pikmin, unrelated to that, might be faster at breaking down walls, and flowers might be faster at breaking down walls, but excuse me, don't quote me on that. But while they work on that wall, which will just take a moment, I'm going to go and get my blues, who are just hanging out over here. You know, like blues do. And I think we'll actually be able to set them on getting another part while they break down that wall. I'm just going to go around in a big old circle and take care of that, if you please. And I think, I'm not sure how many parts specifically need the blue Pikmin, but it's a fair portion of them. In fact, I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, you need blues for that and for that, so 3, like maybe 4 or 5 parts you might be able to get without blue Pikmin, but most of them, you need blue Pikmin. There's always a water area in a Pikmin game that places a heavy emphasis on the blue Pikmin.
At last, my pilot's seat. Once I get this installed, my cockpit will finally be back in order. Soon my ship will be starting to look more and more like the Dolphin of old. Ah, the memories.
What was I talking about before that? Whatever, probably wasn't important. We're gonna set the blues on that, and because they broke down this wall, the Pikmin, that is, we will be able to take care of something else. This bridge up here. And even though this isn't the most ideal way of doing things, this is the way we're going to do things. So, yeah. Now, the blue Pikmin will be taking that back, so that's going to, we can trust them with that. And hopefully we can get them, these other Pikmin, to build this bridge without them being particularly awful about it. And for some reason, I'm not sure why, Pikmin have a hard time getting up onto this ledge. I think it's because I might be a little bit too close, so the game is registering them as hitting the wall or something. And you might be looking over there and seeing that there's some kind of dangerous nonsense going on with that Beetle. He is shooting boulders at us. Hopefully he doesn't realize that that yellow Pikmin is standing in the doorway, just kind of taunting him. But I think he specifically targets Olimar instead of your Pikmin. That's just my theory. I'm not sure if it's the case. Also, I'm not sure if these bridges can kill Pikmin. Like, if the same glitch that causes Pikmin to be crushed by falling enemies' corpses also causes them to be killed by descending bridges.
Pilot's seat. Picturing this in the cockpit, images of me lifting off into space begin to fill my taxed brain. It fills me with inspiration once again.
What was he sitting on before this? That kind of has me a little bit concerned now that I'm thinking about it. So, yeah, We are almost 2/3 of the way through the game, and we've gotten most of the parts. I think the pilot seat is also a necessary part. I mean, it's necessary if you want comfort of any kind. Actually, cool thing, we've basically taken care of most of the stuff in this area, like in terms of enemies, just to kill them, to make our life easier. So yeah, for good measure, before we go deal with that beetle, I'm gonna go deal with this guy, because I hate him. He is a jerk. If he would just turn and face me, hey, and get away from that pool of water. This is a bad idea. Don't do what I'm doing. Yeah, this was a bad idea. Yeah, don't do what I just did. Yeah, that was dumb, even by my standards. But he won't go away. He keeps going on this frickin' thing. Usually they run away, but this one has gotten on to me. He's smarter than he looks. So I'm gonna have to abandon this battle for now because oh, now he leaves. And now he's backing away. Okay. Now we want to wait for him to blow. For the reasons that we outlined in the previous episode, just to make sure that he is, stays in place long enough for us to take care of him. These airy, puffy blowhugs can go over the edge of the level like that, and that's really annoying because they are impossible to hit if they're not grounded. But all he'll drop are some pellets for food, so would you get over here? It's funny because I think they come back in Pikmin 3 and you actually get to take their deflated corpses back to the onion. I don't know why I said that so menacingly. Ignore that. Just ignore that. But anyway, for the third and last piece I think I'm going to be getting today, we're going to be dealing with this guy. This is the armored cannon beetle. He's a bastard. You already saw that he could shoot boulders. That can flatten your entire squad. So what he's going to do is he's going to suck up air, and that should have worked, but it didn't. No major loss. We lost like 8 Pikmin. I mean, that sucks, but that could have been a lot worse. What you want to do is throw Pikmin at him when he starts sucking in air, and that'll cause him to open up his shell, which will, upon opening, be attackable. I know, that's ridiculous. It took me the longest time to figure this out the first time I played, because it's just kind of an obtuse way of dealing with things. And hopefully no Pikmin got flattened by that. Stop aiming over there. I get that there's a Pikmin over there and you don't like him, but that's too bad. You can't have him, and that opens him up again, but you want to be careful to make sure that you're actually hitting him on his butt. Now this is one of the few enemies in the game that respawns health over time, but it's okay because he's dead.
I've discovered the bowsprit. With this piece installed, my ship should regain some of its sleek shape.
And that is cool because it drops that enemy. I feel good about that. Now, we want to be careful about how we do this because I do believe the Pikmin are going to default to carrying whatever they get through the fire, and it looks like we don't have enough quite for the bowsprit. Well, hopefully these blue Pikmin don't get incinerated. Oh god, these yellow Pikmin are gonna get it, aren't they? Actually, I think because we built the bridge, they're gonna take the safe route down. Good on you, Pikmin. You aren't entirely lost and hopeless. So, yeah, we're gonna go down this way and hopefully take care of that. Actually, if we have time, I think I might be able to set up for... Get off the grass. I think if we have time, we might be able to get one more part. And what we're going to do is we're going to come up here and jump down over to here. And we want a bunch... We're going to put away these blues we have with us, and we're going to take out a bunch of yellows. And hopefully, we might have time to get another 4th part. Might be another 4-parter day. Get excited for this, because they're going to get 4 parts from Pikmin. First, I'm going to check my map to make sure I don't have any weird stray ones out in the middle of nowhere, because those are always kind of not good to have. So yeah, they're carrying that back. That's the bowsprit. That's really going to fill out the top of our ship. It's going to look a little weird, just kind of a hint, just so you know about it now. Then what you want to do is you want to throw your Pikmin in here, and there is a giant shaft growing out of that pit. And that pit is going to be very careful. It's going to be very important because the yellow Pikmin are going to climb out of it. This area is a lot easier than it looks. Like, this looks like a really menacing puzzle, but it's not. It is not at all. The yellow Pikmin will come out here, they'll jump and they'll fall, and they'll be available for you to throw up closer to the top. And that fills out the top of the ship. Yep, that looks really weird on the top.
Bowsprit, the so-called face of the dolphin. In point of fact, I designed it. I've now recovered 19 of 30 parts.
And 10 more parts. We only need a third of the parts to go, and we will be able to finish everything. We are getting closer to the end of the game at a pretty good rate. We can't climb up that slope. Unfortunately, I'm gonna go for it. I think I can do it. Careful not to fall here, but you don't need many yellow Pikmin to get that part up there. Like, the yellow Pikmin specific parts usually don't really need that many yellow Pikmin. Like, only what? 10? And they slide down, that's silly. But what is this, in case you're wondering?
I found my UV lamp. The only problem with this handheld light is that it can be too bright at times. I have to remember to wear my sun visor whenever I look into it.
Why would you look into a lamp? Dumb. That's really all there is to say about it. Dumb. This one is really close to the ship, though, and this is another reason you don't need a lot of yellow Pikmin overall, is that most of the parts that are in high up areas that need yellow Pikmin don't need that many, so you're pretty safe with what you got. Point of fact, this is one of the few parts in the game that is optional, so you don't need to worry about it. And this has been a good day. It's been such a good day that I'm going to let the Pikmin have some grass. Wink, wink. And I think we're close enough to the base that even if the time ran out, it would not count it. Wow, they're really kind of going around. They're really drawing it out. Yeah, that was kind of a weird path they took. But that's okay. And of course, it doesn't show up on the ship.
UV lamp. This handy light is great for tanning, but it doesn't seem to have any relation to the dolphin's flight capabilities. I doubt that it will affect my escape from this planet. Perhaps there are other parts like this as well.
Yeah, Olimar contemplates a lot on optional parts when you get to about I think once you get to the Force Naval is when he starts contemplating about optional parts, and, well, it's not a big deal. Stop mooing, Pikmin. For a second there I thought I had one Pikmin missing, but, whew. That's the end of the day. 4 parts. Yes, I just applauded myself, and there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, you can stop watching the video, but I hope you don't. Please don't stop watching the video. I mean, it's almost done. It's practically done. We just need to see the journal entry for the day. What am I even saying? And the ship flies into the sky. It's looking more and more complete every night, and I like building towards completion. I like progression, visual progression.
9 days since impact. There are now only 10 parts that I still need to retrieve. Will I be able to recover the remaining parts in 21 more days? Surely there are some parts that are not absolute necessary. If my ship is not complete by day 30, the only way I will find out is to try to lift off. I just recalled the day I took my son for a ride in this spaceship. He was so happy. I should tell him of this journey when I return. And I shall return! I must! I can already see the look of wonder on his precious face as I describe my adventures with the Pikmin.
Now that's nice. I like the little bit of story building in this game that it does. It doesn't do it much, but what it does, it's nice and it's cute and it's harmless. 10 parts remaining, 21 days remaining. This is going pretty well. Like, I don't like to toot my own horn. Yes, I do. But I'm feeling pretty dang good about how this LP is going in terms of completionness. Whatever. We only have 2 parts left in the Distant Spring, and I think we are going to take care of that in the next episode. That's going to be a quick ordeal, and actually, come to think of it, 3 parts there, 1 part there, 3 parts there. I think we'll be able to clean this up fairly quickly. Force to Hope and Force Naval might take 2 days each, but we'll see. I'm going to try my best. But in the next episode, we're going to be going back to the Distant Spring. But for the time being, thank you for watching. I'm Mr. Devious, or just Deeb, and I hope to see somebody in the next one. Bye-bye.